Louisiana Beer Reviews St. Arnold Pumpkinator 2024 edition, aged in bourbon barrels. This is not the standard Pumpkinator. Now, I bought this at Dornex Food Center in Metairie, Louisiana. Independent craft brewer. And they had the regular Pumpkinator, but I was more curious if they would have this specialty. And they do. And it was $6.99. Imperial Stout brewed with pumpkin and spices, aged in bourbon barrels. So a lot of viewers tell me, man, we don't get St. Arnold beers. We get them in Louisiana, of course in Texas. I don't know if other states get this company's products. They've been around since 1994. They have a really good tour. So Pumpkinator came out in 2009 as Divine Reserve number 9. That was an old series where they would have different high alcohol specialty beers with each number. But it was popular, so they turned it into the regular Pumpkinator. But they don't list this variant, on the website anywhere. I tried looking for it, couldn't find it. So that's all I can tell you about it, because that's all I know. Video reviews, there's a handful over the years. Man, this thing is pouring out like mud. Or you know what it's pouring out like? Prune juice. Sorry, prune juice, not mud. Oh yeah, there's sediment at the bottom. Oh, that little droplet, I tasted the heavy pumpkin. It's so pumpkin-y. You're not going to get a thick head on a wide brim glass like this. But you get a beige head and you get a dark brown appearance. There's like a little orange tint to it. It's kind of like that Crayon burnt sienna they called it. I used to like to use that color. I used to get that. There's a big pack, like 72 colors. It had like a sharpener on the back, but it never really worked properly. Now, whose bourbon barrels? That's a mystery. I'm not even going to try to think about it. Just somebody's bourbon barrels. Pumpkin. I guess pumpkin's easily acquired. Spices, same thing. So, smells like, I mean, they're trying to make us smell like a pumpkin pie with bourbon. Like if you were eating a pumpkin pie and then sipping bourbon with it, I would imagine. Whoops. Yeah, get that strong aroma of very dark brown bread. I didn't even start sipping it yet. Bread crust. The bourbon, the heavy vegetable note, gourd, and the spices. All right, taste. Last year, I let my daughter try this. I went and bought a second bottle. Isn't that what I did? Yeah. Her and her friend. They didn't like it. They said it was too boozy, it was too bourbonish, and they found it was off-putting. They didn't think it was a bad beer, but for them personally, they didn't like it. Didn't appeal to them. But they didn't say it was bad. They just didn't want to drink it. Okay. Sorry for the wind. I guess I should have been inside. I just like to be outside. It's a warm week. It was raining earlier. So the spices are mild. So let's say mild pumpkin spice, cinnamon, nutmeg, sort of thing, maybe some vanilla. You get the underlying vegetable, the gourd thing. Pumpkin on its own, sort of flavorless, right? That's why they add all the spices. And I saw a pumpkin pie at Walmart today, and it said, I've had their pumpkin pies and they're good. I don't know who their supplier is, but they said, it said no sugar added. And I thought, uh-oh. I said, if they didn't add sugar, I probably wouldn't mind it. But I looked on the ingredients, it says sucralose. Put it right back on the shelf. No way. It's heavy bodied. It's not viscous or anything. It's a normal mouthfeel. So that's good. Is it sugary sweet? It is. Sorta. 3 out of 5 sugar cubes, I'd say. What about bitterness? They don't. Do they even? Well, yeah. What am I saying? How they don't talk about the IBUs? They don't have this on the website. They don't talk about anything. I would hate to see the calorie count. No. I wouldn't say. Maybe bitterness from some of the spices, like some kind of way. But not. Maybe 2 out of 5 hop cones at the most. I mean, it has hops. I don't know what they are. It has malts. Don't know what they are. Dark roasted, I would assume. How long was it aged in a bourbon barrel? That's a mystery. Maybe a year? 9 months? There's like a sweet maple syrup, pancake syrup, maybe a blended pancake syrup. There's not a feeling of that. I would say it's like 55-45, sweet finish to dry finish. 55%, so a little bit sweeter than dry on the finish. It's not cloying in any way. There's, you say drinkability. Well, we won't even entertain that. Let's say the sipability is good. I bought the Outlaw Outlaw Mile High light beer, sorry. 4.2%, $8.99 for the 12-pack. Yeah, that's a very drinkable beer. It's light. It has good flavor. It's not just a bland yellow, not just a can of bland yellow fizzy stuff. That would be something more drinkable. This is sippable. Would you want it warmer than normal? Well, I guess so. People say that. You know, you're supposed to say that. Man, it does taste like, I'm not saying oatmeal, but you know how they have that oatmeal when it has the maple and brown sugar? Like Quaker oatmeal, instant oatmeal with maple and brown sugar. Of course, this has no salt, but it does taste a little bit like that. It's very light on the bourbon. This is not tasted anything like last year, so I think every year you got to try it because it's going to change. There's maybe too many variables. Maybe that's why they don't put it on the website. They don't want to describe it because the production is so limited. I mean, Dornex had about 4 bottles on the shelf. No, they probably had 12. I'm thinking there was another one like this, but it was a different label color, like purple. Maybe they had 3 bottles of that. But I haven't seen it this year's version anywhere in this town. Don't recall seeing it at Rouse's, so I think it's going to be very limited. With most of the distribution to Houston and Dallas, San Antonio area, I would think. Maybe as far as Amarillo and, you know, Lubbock, Texas, and that. Don't know about El Paso. Well, it's a fabulous product. But this year's is much lower on the bourbon barrel. And it's funny because my daughter and Babs, they like bourbon, but as bourbon, you know, but like with beer, I'm not too sure they throw with that. I'm not really thrilled with that, honestly, myself. But this one is very low profile on the bourbon. It's definitely different from last year. It's definitely a winner. I'm going to go with a score of 99 out of 100. 9.9 out of 10. It's really that good. An outstanding product. Unfortunately, I guess most viewers can't get it. Is it worth the $6.99 per bottle? Yeah, $28 a 4-pack or $27.96 a 4-pack. I guess if you buy it and you enjoy it, then it's worth it. I bought it. I'm enjoying it. It's worth it. Okay, so 9.9 out of 10. Could be argued up to a 100, and I would not take issue with that. So an outstanding beer, Laissez le bon temps relais, and I'm going to end this review by saying y'all go to Houston, Texas, right off the interstate, right north of Interstate 10. It's next to the service road. You can see the brewery from the highway. As soon as you see the brewery, if you're heading west, take the first exit, go to your right, and take a right on Lyons. I think it's Lyons Boulevard, Lyons Street. You'll see the brewery. Well, you see it just from the whole time you're off the interstate. It's big. And take a brewery tour.